Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Grizzly Bear Sims YouTube channel, and welcome back to Pine Cove Farm. This is episode number 6, and I certainly hope all of you all are having a wonderful, wonderful Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon, depending on where you might be in the world. And we're going to go and plant sunflowers up in our furthest north field, up in field number 17. And we're going to use our DB90 row crop planter here to do that, along with our big John Deere tractor. And this is a relatively field 17 is a relatively small field. It's not as wide and as long as some of the other fields here. Our crops are coming along quite nicely. We've got stand down plowing the big field that we're going to plant soybeans in, and of course we will do that on the first full day of summer, which will be the next game day. And so get that field ready. Basically, we're plowing under whatever was planted there before, as we have done all of our own fields. Plowing that material under and getting everything ready to plant with our crops that we want to plant, where we want to plant them, etc., etc., etc. All is going well here on the map. As soon as I can sort of figure out where we are going, let me see, can we get there from here? We'll see if we can get there from here. My apologies. We'll go by our grass field because I need to check on that anyway. The weird thing is the grass doesn't come into view until you get kind of up on it, but yeah, it's looking pretty good. For those of you who checked out my live stream, that was Monday Night Farming, and if there is a pun there or a similarity with Monday Night Football, well, I guess it's sort of expected. I was actually thinking about, well, I want to do something interesting as far as a live stream goes, and I thought, well, Monday night, let's see, Monday night football, Monday Night Farming. Okay, we'll do that. So don't know if it'll be a regular thing, but we'll certainly give it a shot and see. And of course, what we did during that session was we actually, unlike the live stream that I did on the Saturday before that, which was on the multiplayer server, that was on the Dude Ranch, the official multiplayer server of the Three Dudes Gaming Network, did some harvesting on that map during that live stream. This was actually on this map here, on this save game that we did the live stream on Monday night. So we did some, let's see, I just need to unfold this thing, and you can see that I'm not sure what was planted here before. Maybe corn, looks like corn. Anyway, so yeah, Monday Night Football, Monday Night Farming, we mowed grass. We mowed grass with the Big M, so I learned something quite interesting about that Big M mower, and I will tell you that thanks to Doughboy 2913 Matt for pointing that out. And of course, Doughboy warned me. He said, Jerry, don't do it, you're not gonna like the result of it. And of course, the result was the fact that I changed the spread on the Big M. Let me just get let me get this going here. What is this? This is, let me set my parking brake. This is GPS mod. That's what it is. That's what I'm trying to think of. So set my auto width. We don't need an offset, and we need to bring the course over just a smidge. Anywho, yeah, Doughboy 2913 Matt, good friend of mine. Said, don't do it. Don't change the swath. Don't let it do the widespread. I was wanting to do the widespread because the reason why I was wanting to do the widespread was because I wanted to tether it and then rake it and make hay out of it. And so let me just make sure we're all good here. We've got are we seeding? We are seeding. All right, so I wanted to make hay while the sun was shining, and so I wanted it to be a widespread because I was just going to come along right behind it, tether it, and then obviously rake it and then pick it up with our forage wagon, and then go and dump it into the, well, give some to the cows, dump the rest of it into the silo. And so I did the widespread on it. I'd never done the widespread on the Big M in Farm Sim 17. I had done the widespread in Farm Sim 15, and it worked just fine, of course. But with 17, there was a problem, and it piled a humongous pile. And I'm talking, I hadn't even really moved the mower, so the mower sitting in one spot had created almost 100,000 liters of grass, and it just piled it up, and the Big M just sort of exploded with, well, the Big M didn't explode, but grass exploded all around the Big M. And I had quite the mess to pick up, let me tell you. I just sort of left it, and I figured, okay, well, I'll take advantage of all this grass here, because I did need the grass as well. And so I went ahead and let it, did all the hay, picked the hay up, and then came around and went ahead and used the forage wagon to pick up the grass. I just basically told the live stream folks that were watching, I said, okay, I'm going to do something that is highly unrealistic. I'm going to break the heck out of realism for a moment, but I'm basically going to just drive this forage wagon into this huge pile, almost this Mount Everest of grass, and try to get all this grass picked up as best as I can, and just sort of worked it that way. And then it all worked out, and I dumped it, gave some, put some in the silage silo, and then obviously put some with cows and such as well. So it worked out, and all is good with the world. But we do need to do some more mowing. I'm gonna have to probably, I'm not gonna give up on the, oops, hit the wrong button. I'm not going to give up on the Big M. The Big M will probably still be our mower of choice as far as grass is concerned, just simply because until that issue is resolved, and from what I understand, the issue is actually caused by the 1.44 update. Imagine that. That update has seemed to have broken a lot of things, I think, unfortunately. Anyway, that update seems to have broken a lot of things in the Farm Sim 17 world, and so until that is addressed, or until they release an updated version of the Big M, the Corona Big M, we will use the Corona Big M for grass purposes, and grass slash silage, because we can take grass to our silage silo and dump that in, and to make silage out of that. And then I will most likely buy the mower decks, the independent mower decks, and have it available so that we can do the widespread, so that we can tether it and then pick it up and everything. I mean, you can still tether. You can certainly still tether with the Big M with the swath. That's not a problem. It's just a little bit unrealistic to do it that way, and I like to kind of do things as realistic as possible. Well, you know me. Alright, so this is going quite quick. We'll be done in another pass or two. And then we've got a couple of other things to do. This may be a bit of a short episode. I wanted to record this episode today. We've kind of had some, we've had a little bit of scary news, and I'll just tell you, because all of you guys that watch my YouTube channel are my friends. And but my father-in-law who will be 81 later this month, actually. Also, who lives in Belgium, had his appendix burst, and it burst unexpectedly, and he was rushed to the hospital, and they basically wheeled him right in and performed emergency surgery on him, and I think he's going to be okay. Obviously, thoughts and prayers will be in his direction from us here, and we will just kind of see how things go. Right now, we're just going to wait and see how things go before we make any decisions as to whether or not we're going to be needing to travel. And but everything, he's going to be in the hospital for at least 10 days, they are telling us at this particular point in time, and so we will know more probably in the coming days. And of course, I am recording this episode. This is the 8th of March. You guys are going to watch this on, I think, the I don't know, the 11th, whatever Saturday is. And so I should know more as we get a little bit closer to the weekend, and I will give you a brief update on that once I know a little bit more information. But actually, my wife is feeling a little bit better. Well, I think I might have told you in a few episodes ago, and I can't remember if that was in Pine Cove Farm or if it was on Lawfolds, but how I was upset with FedEx because they didn't deliver the DVDs that I had ordered for her because she was not feeling well last weekend. And well, we did get those, but obviously we didn't get them until Monday. And so she's feeling a little bit better, I think, now. She's taking a nap right now, so I decided to come downstairs and get an episode done, and then go up and check on her in a moment. So this will most likely be a short episode, shorter than what the last couple of episodes have been, because I think a couple of my previous Lawfolds episodes, as we've been trying to get that harvest done, a lot of those episodes have been close to 40-45 minutes. But cool things are coming to the map. My good buddy Eustace Pharmer helped me out in a big time way today with a small modification to both the Lawfolds map and the Pine Cove Farm map, and you will see those very, very soon. You'll probably see them on Lawfolds first, only because it kind of has to do with equipment maintenance, and that's really all that I'll say about it right now. So obviously the next time that we come together for Lawfolds, it's going to be winter time. It's going to be the first day of winter, and things that we will have to do will be a little bit restricted because obviously it's winter time. So all of our harvesting is done, or will be done. You're gonna basically see an episode of Lawfolds, episode 33 of Lawfolds you'll watch on Monday, and that was the last episode that I did on the fall harvest. So we basically got everything in, which is fantastic news, of course. And so we're just going to be concentrating on what we need to do as far as get out of my way, tree, as far as winter is concerned. So got some obviously we've got some things that we'll want to sell. Obviously we've got a whole bunch of wool, and we've got some crops and stuff that we hopefully will get some great demand. So but you'll see that on Monday, and I don't want to reveal too much, spoiler alert, all that kind of stuff. So with this map here, we are in the very closing stages of spring, I should say, not autumn, spring. And so most likely there will be one more episode for this game day, and that will be when we plant canola on field number 8. Field number 8 is pretty good size, and I don't know if I will actually plant that, or if we'll do hired worker for that, get Billy Bob and Jim Bob and Stan to maybe help with that or something, or maybe we'll tag team it and we'll get them working on kind of on one side of the field, and we'll do the other, and sort of meet in the middle and see who gets there first, and do something like that. So, all right, well, that's a good feeling to have our sunflowers in, and so hopefully we won't ruin the crop too much by driving over it again right there. And let's go ahead and head on back to the main farm. I can figure out the way to get back there. I think we'll just go back the way we came, because this is this DB90 unfortunately has a turning radius of a small country, and so we have to kind of be careful about the path that we go. But I think that the way we came will be the way that we go back, and all this will work out quite well for us, I do believe. Actually, I'm quite excited to show you guys. I believe Eustace Pharmer is going to do a review of how to get this thing that I'm kind of excited about telling you about. He's gonna do a tutorial on how to install it and set it up and everything, because it requires Giants Editor, and I know how to spell Giants Editor, but outside of that, I have only ever tried to use it once, and that was back in FarmSim 15, and I really messed something up pretty bad, and I just sort of said, well, maybe this isn't for me. So I'm going to be looking forward to his tutorial, because obviously this will be something cool to understand how to do for future maps. But he was kind enough to go ahead and put this in for us for this map as well as on Lawfolds. And it's quite possible you may see he may actually record and do the tutorial video even before you watch this. But in any event, I will make sure that I let you guys know so that you can go over and check that out, because I think you might be interested in doing this thing on your farm as well, especially once you, well, maybe not until you start playing Seasons mod, because again it has to do with equipment maintenance and such, but it would still actually work even without Seasons mod. It really doesn't have anything to do with Seasons mod, and when I get to this episode and I show you what I'm talking about, then you'll probably better understand. Alright, so let's just we'll go park our DB9. We're basically done with this row crop seeder for this year. Essentially, we've got our corn in, we've got our sunflower in, and so most likely I will carry this around momentarily off camera and give it a good wash and put it in our storage barn and everything and get it ready for storage. So go ahead and set our parking brake, turn our tractor off and jump out, and we're going to get in our Challenger here. I did modify our Challenger just a bit, and I took those dual tires off the back of it, dual wheels off the back of it. So Stan knew a guy who knew this other guy, and basically this other guy had a load of straw that he wanted to get rid of, and he wanted to get rid of it relatively cheap. And my track IR is well, I actually forgot to turn my track IR on, so my bad on that. So anyway, Stan knew a guy who knew a guy who knew this other guy, and well, this other guy, as I said, had this load of straw that he wanted to get rid of, and so we picked it up off his hands really cheap. And so we're gonna haul this down. You know, this guy was kind of like, look, I've got this straw, I've got more than enough. It's gonna be, you know, we've got more straw coming in off the harvest and everything coming up. And he's like, you know, you guys are doing a good thing for the community by getting the Pine Cove composting plant going. So he's like, why don't you take it and you know, give me a few dollars off of it so I can maybe, you know, take the little lady out to dinner or something. And so we helped him out with that, and so we've got a little bit more straw that we can load into our compost facility, because we're trying to keep this place running down here. Obviously, with both a wheat and a barley field that we've already actually planted. They're both pretty good sized fields as well. We're going to have a whole lot of straw essentially coming off of those, and that's going to really keep this place hopping. And obviously we're interested in both the compost that the output provides us to keep our little compost bagging facility over there going, as well as the compost that we can take to and dump into the BGA and utilize that for all the things that it produces. You know, it gives us a biofuel, so eventually we're going to have hopefully enough biofuel that we can run this plant. What I'm most interested in with the biofuel that we're producing off the BGA is the ability to run this plant basically for no cost at all. So obviously we're going to have the straw coming off the fields. That really doesn't, you know, cost anything other than the labor to do that. And then of course we're going to have the field number 9 that we planted in corn. All that will be cut in chaff and sent to the BGA. And so of course that's going to be more than enough, I think, to keep that going. But also we're looking at the option of being able to take the other byproduct of the BGA process, and that is in liquid manure. And because once we harvest the fields that we presently have planted, whenever we turn those fields back around again, we're wanting to put down digestate, liquid slurry, liquid manure, black gold, whatever you want to call it. So that'll be cool stuff, and we're just going to dump this here just to kind of keep this plant going, because again, this makes us a little bit of money as a result of selling a load of, let's make sure, yep, this is a full load, so we'll dump this here. And there you go. Got lots of granular fertilizer, which we will probably sell that, because one of the things that, you know, almost $78,000. One of the things that we are going to try to achieve, and it's just going to take time, I think, but I'd certainly love to be able to go more or less chemical free. Go completely green farming if it's at all possible. And of course, for now, because we still only have to do one-time fertilization, I really miss track IR, by the way, because we only have to do one-time fertilization right now on this map because of the way seasons is, but we may go ahead and still simulate doing spreading of liquid manure just the same. So we'll see how it goes once we get to that point. But really, Stan's doing a good job there on plowing that field. He's almost done, and I think for the remainder of our time, which is only really just a few minutes and almost made this a full episode at a half hour, we will come around over here, I think, and see if we have any pig food in our mixing station that we can go ahead and give to our pigs and get them topped up. And it looks like our pig station, our pig mixing station, has basically, as I hit the concrete barrier, I'll have to get Jim Bob to fix that. Oh, wow, that was nothing. Okay, we don't have anything in there, so we need to, what are we missing here? Sunflower and maize. So don't know, we probably won't have any of those until until the fall harvest, but I do think that we've got some pig food in here, so we'll just grab what we have in here, which is kind of left over from the previous owners, and take this over and give this to the pigs. I do fully understand that, you know, from an ultra realism perspective, you know, this everything sort of all-inclusive silo system that Stevie puts on the map is a little bit unrealistic, because yeah, we're probably going to dump potatoes and sugar beets in there as well, and of course we can put pig feed and we can put TMR and we can put everything else, but it is somewhat nice to have, only simply because we've done bells and everything in the other maps, and this is kind of I don't know, I mean, this is kind of a fun map for me in a way. I mean, I'm trying to play it as realistic as possible, but it's also just a fun map as well, and it's sort of a break from having to, you know, bale and stack and kind of all that stuff. So all right, well, hopefully let's just check our inventory here and see. Yeah, that's got them up a little bit. We'll see, maybe we can find some pig feed, or maybe we'll just go to the store and buy some. Let's see, what else can we do? Power food, let's go ahead and give the cows some more power food. Got just a couple of more minutes here, or at least I'll just back up here to the power food mixing station here. Make sure, yeah, it looks like we have some. So obviously, once we start harvesting, we're going to be busy keeping all these plants going, and of course Billy Bob, Jim Bob, and Stan will be a big integral part in that, keeping everything going. And of course what that relates to in real life is this empty as well? That's empty as well. I guess, and maybe in the live stream, maybe I emptied this thing. I don't remember, but anyway, we've got lots of work to do, and we'll get it done. We'll get everything done that we need to do, and once we get some crops rolling in here, we'll have more than enough to keep these mixing stations and all this other stuff going. And of course, we want to get the greenhouses going at some point as well, so you guys can see that. And I'm just going to go ahead and say thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate it all. Please check out all of my friends down both in below the video, as well as in my featured channels list, and check out PCSG and the Three Dudes Gaming Network. And thank you for your comments, thank you for your likes, thank you for your subscriptions, and thank you for telling your friends about the Grizzly Bear Sims YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again the very next episode. Bye-bye.